Alright guys, what's going on? This is Aaron from Metro East Libertarians here. I'm coming to you with another live stream. This is for our people in O'Fallon. I'm going to go over the mayoral race that you guys got going on down there. Now, I did attend the candidate event that March 23rd, I believe it was. Very interesting event. The treasurer race, and those guys, they came out swinging. I do encourage you to go over to the City of O'Fallon Facebook page YouTube channel and check out the video from that. This treasurer race looks like some kind of proxy war with these guys. Kind of looks like the Democrat machine versus maybe more independent Republicans or something. I don't know. I don't want to paint it too broad, but it's very, very interesting. They're both write-in candidates, head-to-head battle there. I'm not actually going to cover that. I am going to cover the mayor race. I don't know why I'm spending time telling you stuff I'm not going to talk about. Okay, so in the mayor race, we have Phil Goodwin versus Herb Roach. If I got those names right, that should be right. And basically, I know you guys have been sitting there waiting for the Libertarians to weigh in on your mayor race and don't know what to do, and you've been waiting for us to tell you what we think. All right. A lot of how we, as Libertarians, the way we look at these candidates is we're trying to figure out who is going to promote free markets, who is going to promote lower taxes, who believes that they can plan the community better than the community can organize itself. So that's the perspective from which I'm looking at these two candidates, just to kind of set the table there. Now, other things such as, who's a nice guy or who has what experience or whatever, we don't weigh that as heavily. Now, the thing is, too, with these two guys that are running, they both have a pretty impressive resume. So I am sort of obviously going to favor one candidate over the other. I'm not giving like an official endorsement or trying to ask you guys, hey, make sure you do this or go out there and make sure you elect this guy because, if you don't, all hell's going to break loose or whatever, all these things. Oh, this is the most important election, whatever. Okay, so let's get right into it. All right, I got a couple cuts from the websites. Now, if you look at Phil Goodwin's page, his website, you're going to see just a ton of issue pages, his stances on everything. He had to spend a ton of time, or he's got a campaign team that spent a ton of time on this website. First of all, that kind of scares me. If you got this many plans and this many issues and positions and everything, you're a planner. You think you can plan society better than society can organize itself. That's easy enough to see. I only picked out this one issue because this is an issue that's been kind of going around the area that I think is kind of a hot button issue, which is the stuff he's saying about zoning and home inspections and things like that. So if you look at his website here, this is a clip from his website. It says as mayor, he's going to maintain high quality of life housing codes. Okay, I find that a little scary because what that says to me is if you own an older home in O'Fallon, okay, you've got some risk there. There's a chance that new codes will come about or their inspection scheme will begin to cost you money for things that maybe are not real safety issues, but they're things that are kind of dated. All right, so electrical things that were okay in the past. If you're building a new home, you wouldn't do it that way, but at the same time, nobody's really in danger with this. Okay, so if they change the code, you get an inspection, you fail the new code, you could be out thousands of dollars for electrical work. Electricians do not work for free. That's a fact. Okay. Smart planning and zoning at the top here. I will ensure my administration protects the investment of residents in their homes by maintaining strong planning and zoning expertise. Okay, so this is an appeal to expertise, saying that, these guys can plan the zones better. God forbid we didn't have strong zoning expertise. It'd be anarchy, like Austin, Texas. It'd be bedlam. They don't even have roads in Austin. It's crazy. Okay. All right. Protect property and quality standards. Okay. Responsible landlords, again, that's a hat tip to inspections. Recruit developers to build more senior living communities. Okay, so if you read this, hopefully you guys can read that. I hope it's big enough on the screen there. He's saying it's not just a great place to raise a family, a wonderful place to retire and enjoy the fruits of our lives' work. As mayor, I'll recruit developers that will expand housing options for senior living so that our retirees will be attracted to O'Fallon. Okay, come on, man. Retirees are attracted to the villages in Florida. I mean, that's a retirement community. You're not going to put in all kind of golf cart paths and all this stuff and make it a real retirement community. I mean, I don't know. That seems a little weird. All right, let's move on. Second thing I'm going to say about him, hey, nice try, buddy. Blue and gold is Libertarian Party colors, okay? I see you trying to rip us off. It ain't going to work. Nobody's going to mistake you for a libertarian, all right? Okay, now moving on to, this is from Herb Roach's page. Now, TIF is a hot button issue. For me, especially, let me make this a little bigger. Cut to that. All right, that's a little bit better. Now, so Herb Roach on the flip side, now I've painted Goodwin as a planner. He thinks that he can plan things, he can shape the community. Experts are going to come in and make everything happen. He's going to recruit the businesses that he wants, like Costco. I think he's, I had something about that. You know, sorry, Goodwin, the Collinsville City Council members are looking for a Costco also, so there's going to be some competition. But here's a tip, neither one of y'all are going to get a Costco. It's just ridiculous. So here, I'd like to see a candidate that says, I don't like TIF, okay, because TIF is terrible, in my opinion. I've got a whole nother video responding to a Collinsville candidate who's all about TIF. He misrepresents TIF and everything, and he thinks it's great. I responded to his comments, and I kind of explained more why I'm so against it. And I'm not the only one. Okay, now what does Roach have to say about TIFs? Well, he says that, you know, he doesn't think they're this great idea, but he's not completely closed off to it either. And so at the bottom here it says, I would do targeted TIFs. For example, the TIF district established for the McKendree Recplex was a no-brainer. There was already a developer with a great business plan. On the other hand, the Rasp Farm TIF on South Lincoln has gone nowhere. That TIF is about to expire and the land still sits empty. The downtown TIF, which includes Southview Plaza, is a work in progress. That will be my number one economic development priority as mayor. We've got to get that ball rolling. Okay, so he thinks that he can kick this other TIF into being productive. One TIF just expired that didn't go anywhere. All right. So, again, as libertarians, we believe that, you know, TIF, you're just trying to manipulate the market. You're not going to create growth that wouldn't have been created anyway. And, you know, nice try. Thanks for taking money from you know, property owners and giving it to developers. And I hope you feel good about it. Okay. So let's go to this. I'm gonna run a few clips. Last few videos that I did about the you know, running clips and stuff, I went a little long. So again, I do encourage you to go watch those videos. I didn't run too many. I just want to run enough to sort of characterize basically what I'm trying to get across about these candidates. So, all right, so let's do this. First clip from the candidate forum that I'm going to run.
What quality do you admire most in your opponent?
Shoot, that's the last one I was going to run. Where am I? Is that it? Okay, hold up. This is the one I wanted to do first.
We will use smart growth plans that will not
guys.
only help the growth of our community, but will help diversify our economy so that we can better counter any downturns in the economy. Debt. We can't afford to continue to increase debt. We have a good bond rating, but the debt we cannot keep increasing. We've increased it from under 11 million to 67 million. That's a 500% increase. Or for man, woman, and child, that's $520 up to $2,100. And in some cases on the debt, we only pay on the interest.
Okay, so that's kind of a good sign, seeing him saying he doesn't want to take on additional debt. Now, these candidates were going on and on during this forum. Like, every candidate was taking credit for the bond rating. We got we got AA bond rating from Standard & Poor's. It's great. That's a little bit scary for me because if you're bragging about your bond rating, what you're saying is that your tax rates are high enough that your debt is not too bad, and therefore, and you have a history of paying. There's a bunch of factors that go into Standard & Poor's bond ratings. But are you looking to borrow more money? I hope not, because what that does is mortgage taxes into the future, and we don't want to do that. And then what he's saying there about there are certain bonds that they're paying only interest on. Okay, that's bad also because those bonds are never going to get paid off, obviously. So you're not going to do that with your mortgage, I hope. All right, so let's check this out.
As a colonel, I earned valuable experience in managing people and resources in the Air Force, experience I will bring to the mayor's office. My career ended with my assignment to Scott Air Force Base, where I worked as a war planner. Another great experience in strategic planning, and I will also bring that experience to the mayor's office.
Okay, so again, I'm saying he's a planner. His own words are saying he's a planner. So, libertarians don't like planners. We like spontaneous order. Okay.
The plan I have outlined is sound and will help return those funds in two ways. First, I would ask the City Council to approve my plan to reduce your tax levy by 18%. We will do this by dedicating 20% of all new sales tax revenues toward property tax relief, and will commit $1 million annually over the next 4 years from the city surplus toward property tax relief.
Okay, so those are cool. Those are good ideas. I don't know why the council's not already allocating money toward property tax relief. I don't know. That should be done. I mean, O'Fallon, you guys, property tax through the roof. It's crazy. But, I got to give him credit for a call to reduce taxes. I mean, that's nice, right?
I think the style of leadership is a mayor who has a vision to want to move forward, knows how to develop economic development without having to put acres and acres under TIF with impact our schools.
Okay, it's kind of self-serving for me to put that in there because he did say that TIFs impact schools, and that's, again, another argument that I was having with a local candidate over here in Collinsville. He was trying to say that TIFs don't hurt anybody, they don't raise property taxes. They do, actually, because they put downward pressure on the tax incomes of other districts. Now, somehow I got this clip in here twice. Let me see, 48 seconds, 36. Okay. So, I'm just going to kind of close out. This is the last clip I'm going to run. If you were at the forum, you saw this happen in person. I just think it's kind of neat, the way this went down. And I'm just playing it because it's kind of funny, and I'd like to see more races where the candidates behave in this manner. So check out this. This is good.
What quality do you admire most in your opponent?
All yours. There you go. No, I have known Herb Roach for 40 years. Pretty close. Pretty close. And he is a dedicated man to the city. We do believe differently in our philosophies, and I think you can understand that by the way we've been talking tonight. However, I know he is dedicated. I know he has done a lot of good stuff in his life, and I applaud him for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so that was good, right? I mean, if we had more of that going on in politics, I don't think anybody would say that that's a bad thing, that these guys can be there and talk to each other, and they're not just throwing shade at each other. There were some comments where they're kind of attacking each other's positions, attacking each other for being. I think Goodwin was attacking Roach for posing for pictures for something that he had voted against or whatever. I don't know how true all that stuff is. Anyway, look, bottom line is, full disclosure, I'm with Metro East Libertarians. We're an official chapter of the Libertarian Party of Illinois. I don't live in O'Fallon. I'm not going to vote in this election. We do have people that do vote in O'Fallon. You legitimately have two choices. There are only two choices in here. In my opinion, Herb Roach is probably the better choice. But that's not an endorsement of him. Herb Roach is probably a better choice, and I encourage you guys to like watch him very closely, because he is going to try to use the tools of planning to try to get his way. There is going to be some TIF. TIF equals favoritism. That's giving tax dollars to people that are going to do things that you want to do, such as, somebody wants to open a store or whatever. He's going to try to direct them into the right place and get them to open it and give them tax dollars to do that. Okay, I get that. I get why people think that that's a good idea. As libertarians, we believe, of course, that's not a good idea. You don't take money from one person, give it to another, and that's just redistribution, and it's wrong. It's morally wrong. Okay. Anyway, that pretty well concludes the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe to this channel. We're going to be bringing you guys a lot of good content about local issues, meeting information that we see, issues that we see happening around the community. So, all right, again, thanks. And stop. Cancel.